girl confirms why women actually hate Simps but will never admit it.
If I came up to you and I said, I think you're really attractive, if I took you on a date and dropped the bag on you.
See, this is exactly what the tradcons think should work. Honesty, truth, no game. Very similar mindset to the feminists, which believes that men and women are the same, basically. Oh, I can treat her as if she's a man.
Made you feel special. Would you be open to fucking after and then possibly something more? How would you take that?
If you took me on a date and you dropped a bag on me
Oh, I can see the tradcons getting mad right now.
and told me how you felt, I'd probably get freaked out and leave right away.
If anyone thinks that this is some sort of low-quality woman saying that, that is the way 95% of women feel. When I say women, I'm not talking about the ones that are destroyed or the ones that are single or the ones that are ravaged cognitively by feminism or some other ideology into hating men or reality. I'm talking about the dating pool of women. What you're witnessing here is hypergamy.
If we're on a first date or we were first, second, third interaction, like, what I want is for you to be slightly unavailable.
Women have to be able to look up to men that they're with. If they don't, they lose interest immediately. This is the reason why Andrew Tate talked about back in 2020. You want to maintain an air of mystery. You don't want to just tell her everything. Because then she's going to think, oh my gosh, I already know everything about him. I bet I could do better. Because again, hypergamy, they want to date up and across socioeconomic hierarchies. Every man has made this mistake at some point in his life. Oh, I'm just going to treat her as if she's a man, just like me. And then you have the blue pill Simps over here. They're like, but I took her to the mall and bought her $10,000 worth of makeup. Why is she ghosting me for the guy that's poor? It's because you've demonized understanding the world objectively in favor of an ideology that mandates some sort of mental castration beyond the scope of reason and rationality. And 90% of the time, that means you're a leftist.
Like, don't spill all the tea. Don't give me all the details. Like, I want you to be, like, as unavailable.
This is a very common female mentality.
To the point where, like, I'm guessing and I don't want to, like, know that you want me. And then I'll be more attracted to you and willing to move farther physically.
Yeah, and what's interesting, too, is that it's not just one woman to one man ratio. It's that all the men that do this have multiple women. And on top of that, the women tolerate it. Whenever you ask a woman directly, would you rather have, one partner or share him with a lot of other hot girls? They will always say, oh, I want him to be all to myself, just me. But when you look at their actions and the actions of women throughout history, every king, every emperor, every sultan, every shogun, every chief, every tribal leader had harems, had multiple women that were loyal to them, that adored them, that would do anything for them. And those women could have chosen to be with peasants. They could have chosen to be with the farmer. But no, they wanted to be with the nobleman. They wanted to be with the king. Women will tolerate other women being with their guy in order to serve their hypergamy, because hypergamy is such a strong force in their dating circuitry, in their biology. Hypergamy means, again, they date up and across. Women date up and across. And when they think they can put a box on you, they immediately say, oh, this guy is either beneath me or he's my equal because I can put a box around him. There's nothing about him that I don't know. So I can put a box around him. Therefore, I can understand him. And if I can understand him, he's probably below me. So they continue to look for someone else. And they end up sharing a guy in the top 1%, the top 5%, whatever. This is what tradcons and obviously blue-pill feminists do not want to recognize because they're ideologically captured.
And emotionally with you.
So you need a guy who's gonna wreck you emotionally and make you feel like he doesn't even need you.
See, she didn't like the word, but that is actually what she wants. That is actually what she's attracted to. But it's not because women like assholes, like the common saying goes. It's that women don't want to be able to put a box around you. They want to be able to look up to you at all times. Because if they don't, they're thinking, I could get a better guy than this. Men and women are not the same scientifically, they are not the same psychologically, and these are objective fields of study. But feminism, in its alignment with postmodernist belief or postmodernist doctrine, says that there's no better and worse ways of interpreting reality, also known as there's no right and wrong, there's no truth and falsehood. And so that's the reason they reject objective truths that are provable by science. In psychology, we know women date up and across socioeconomic hierarchies, and we know that's been going on for thousands of years. Men don't do that. Men are willing to date down because they don't value the same things women value in men. The attraction triggers are asymmetric. But even acknowledging, even thinking about, even saying any of this is enraging to a feminist who is a postmodernist who thinks that any form of objectivism is toxic masculinity or oppression, which is actually what most leftists believe these days, because objectivism requires an individual identity, not adherence to a group membership which grants counterfeit virtue. Be sure to subscribe to the channel.